9. The S-bend plumbing trap, 350 words. Picture this. London, 1,850 seconds. Your morning routine involves brushing your teeth, making coffee, and hoping your house doesn't explode. Back then, homes were hooked straight to sewers, letting methane and deadly hydrogen sulfide gases waft up through your pipes. One spark, and boom, your bathroom's a fireball. Worse, those gases could kill you in minutes. People were dropping dead, and no one knew why. Enter Alexander Cumming in 1775 with the S-bend, a curved pipe that holds water to block those killer gases. Simple, right? But folks didn't care until 1858's Great Stink, when London's Thames River turned into a sewage soup so bad Parliament fled the city. Only then did the S-bend become mandatory. This little pipe under your sink has saved more lives than penicillin by stopping your home from becoming a gas chamber. Ever wonder why your plumber's bill is so high? Thank this guy for keeping you alive. 8. The wire window screen, 300 words. Imagine your house as a mosquito buffet. Before window screens, that's exactly what it was. Malaria, yellow fever, and dengue were crashing the party, carried by those tiny bloodsuckers. Then someone nobody knows who took wire mesh, maybe from an old sieve, and slapped it on a window. Bam! Instant bug force field. When screens hit the scene, some people whined they'd block healthy night air. Spoiler, that air was a disease delivery system. Once cities mandated screens, mosquito-borne death rates plummeted. Some areas saw a 50% drop in just years. Billions of lives saved. And we don't even know who to thank. It's like a superhero invented a shield, then ghosted us. Next time you open a window without a swarm invading, give a nod to this forgotten genius. No cape, just wire, and a whole lot of lives saved. 7. The Bessemer process. 350 words. In the 1,850 seconds, making steel was a nightmare. Iron was the go-to for bridges and train tracks, but it was brittle, snapping like a bad day at the worst moment. Picture crossing a bridge and hearing it groan. Yeah, not fun. Then Henry Bessemer had a wild idea. Blast air through molten iron to burn out impurities. It was like a cosmic cleanup crew, turning hours of work into 30 minutes. The process was so intense, flames shot out like an angry volcano. Steel went from costing a fortune to cheaper than a nice dinner. Suddenly, we could build skyscrapers, sturdy bridges, and rails that didn't betray you mid-journey. Bessemer's idea reshaped the world, making it safer and bigger. Ever wonder why modern cities don't collapse? This is why. It's not sexy, but it's the backbone of everything tall and shiny. Mind blown yet? 6. Oral rehydration therapy. 350 words. Cholera's a gut punch. It drains your body of water faster than a desert marathon up to 12 liters a day through, well, let's just say the worst kind of exit. In the 1,970 seconds, this was a death sentence, especially in places like refugee camps with no hospitals. Fancy 4 drips weren't an option. Then doctors discovered something stupidly simple. Mix water, a pinch of salt, and some sugar. Drink it. Your gut loves this combo. It absorbs water like a sponge when sugar and salt team up. Without both, the water just slides through. This trick dropped cholera death rates from 30% to 1% in camps where it was tried. Over 50 million lives saved, and it's basically Gatorade's less flashy cousin. Next time you chug a sports drink, remember, it's built on a life-saving hack. Who knew sugar could be a superhero? 5. The autoclave. 350 words. Surgeons in the 1800s were basically playing infection roulette. They'd wipe tools with a rag, sometimes not even that, and go from patient to patient. Hospitals were called death houses for a reason. Then Charles Chamberlain invented the autoclave, a glorified pressure cooker that sterilizes tools with super hot pressurized steam. It's like a nuke for germs, killing even zombie-like prions that laugh at boiling water. Before autoclaves, surgery was a 50/50 shot at death by infection. After, survival rates soared. Today, every hospital, dentist, and tattoo parlor uses these to keep tools clean. It's the unsung hero of modern medicine, turning operating rooms from death traps to lifesavers. Ever had a cavity filled or piercing done? Thank the autoclave for not letting bacteria throw a party in your bloodstream. Simple pour, massive impact. 4. The Green Revolution's wheat. 350 words. Wheat used to be the supermodel of crops, tall, glamorous, and prone to falling over. When it toppled, it rotted, leaving farmers with nothing and people starving. Enter Norman Borlaug, who decided wheat should be more like a tough, stubby bouncer. His short, sturdy wheat didn't just stand up to wind it, resisted diseases, thrived in weird weather, and pumped out 3 times more grain. This wasn't just a plant, It was a lifeline. India was staring down a famine in the 1960 seconds, but Bolag's wheat turned it into a food exporter in years. 1 billion people didn't starve because of this guy. He won a Nobel Peace Prize, but most folks wouldn't know him from a random TV character. Next time you bite into a sandwich, thank this short wheat for keeping the world fed. Who knew a plant could be such a boss? 3. The bifurcated needle. 300 words. Smallpox was a monster, killing 300 million people in the 20th century alone. Survivors looked like they'd been pelted with hot gravel. Then, Dr. Benjamin Rubin took a sewing needle, ground it into a tiny fork, and changed history. This bifurcated needle held 1 drop of vaccine, using a quarter of what older methods needed. Dip, poke 15 times, done. No fancy tech, no fridge, just a needle and some elbow grease. Wyeth Labs could have cashed in, but gave it to the World Health Organization for free. In 12 years, smallpox was erased, the only human disease we've ever wiped out. A modified sewing needle did that. Think about it. 1 tiny tool took down a global killer. Ever wonder what a real game changer looks like? It's a fork smaller than your pinky. 2. Water chlorination. 300 words. In 1900, drinking city water was like gambling with your guts. Bacteria like typhoid fevers, salmonella, typhi were in every sip, killing over 100 per 100,000 people in some U.S. cities. That's a concert hall's worth of deaths yearly. Then Dr. John Leal in Jersey City had a bold idea: dump chlorine in the water. In 1908, he did it, got sued for poisoning people, and won because surprised nobody was dying anymore. Typhoid cases crashed, and chlorination spread worldwide. It's one of the greatest public health wins ever, saving hundreds of millions. That faint poo smell in your tap water? It's why you're not rolling the dice every time you drink. Leo's gamble made clean water boringly safe. Raise a glass to that, but maybe don't sniff it too hard. 1. The Haber-Bosch process, 350 words. In the 1800s, nations fought wars over bird poop. Seriously, guano was the best fertilizer, but there wasn't enough, and people were starving. Fritz Haber figured out how to grab nitrogen from the air, 78% of what you're breathing, and mix it with hydrogen under insane heat and pressure. Carl Bosch made it work without blowing everything up. Their process makes fertilizer that feeds about 4 billion people today. Without it, half of us wouldn't exist. But there's a dark side. It also makes explosives. During World War I, Germany used it for bombs, turning Haber's lifesaver into a killer. His wife, a scientist herself, was so devastated she took her own life. This process uses 1% of the world's energy, more than some countries. Scientists are still chasing a better way, but for now, this century-old hack keeps the planet fed. Wild, right?